welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm going to be doing another book recommendations video, and I haven't done one of these in a long time. The first video I actually filmed was a book recommendations video, so this one's going to be really exciting and really new because I've got 5 new books here that I've read recently and I really loved and I want to share with you. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first book on my list is one that I read for the Carnegie shortlist, which was about 6 months ago, I'm going to say. Less than that, maybe. I don't know. But this was on the shortlist and it actually won in the end. It won the Carnegie Medal, and for a good reason too, because it is probably the best book I've ever read on a Carnegie shortlist. And that is One by Sarah Crosson. And I love Sarah Crosson's writing. What did I read? I read Apple and Rain the year before by Sarah Crosson, and I love this one too. I read this one in a day, and I thought that they are both great. I recommend them both, but I think I like one a tiny bit more, and one is written in prose. It's written in sort of poetry form, which sounds a bit naff, and I thought it would be a bit naff when I started reading it, but it didn't make the story any less detailed, or it didn't make me connect to the characters in any worse way. I connected to the characters so much, and I did cry in this book. It was really emotional, and I just thought that the poetry writing was so suited to this, and it actually made the story really fast-paced and really enjoyable. This one, Apple and Rain, on the other hand, is written in normal book form. But she has this way of, Sarah Crosson has this way of making all of her books really fast-paced. I read this one in like half a day, and I read this one in 2 days, and I actually loved them both. I thought that they were both fantastic. So this one is about conjoined twins. This one's about conjoined twins, Tippy and Grace, and it's about this whole decision that they have to make because they're moving to a high school. They're going to high school for the first time, and they meet some people there, and I loved all of the characters. I thought that the characters that they meet are really fantastic, and they really evolve them as characters. And yes, the ending did make me cry, but I won't go into that. You just have to read it. Just go and read it. And for those of you who are interested, Apple and Rain is about this girl called Apple who is taken from her grandma's house by her mum because her mum comes back, because her grandma adopted her. Her mum finally comes back after leaving her, and her mum takes her to her house. There's a huge realization, and it's about the fact that Apple's mum has so many secrets, and it's about Apple trying to figure out what's going on there. I thought this one was really good, and there is a boy, but it isn't heavily focused on a guy, which I thought was really good. Both of these do have a tiny bit of romance in them, but they are really family themed, and Sarah Crosson writes family really well, and I'd recommend both of these highly, so you should seriously go and check these out. They are fantastic. Another book that I have here is also a contemporary, and this was sent to me by Macmillan. It was the second ARC I ever received from Macmillan, and that is Fans of the Impossible Life by Kate Scales. I received this over a year ago, and it's still stuck with me. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It is an LGBT book, and oh my days, it's so good. I read this so quickly as well. It's written in triple perspective, because it's about Myra, Jeremy, and Sebi. Yes, Myra, Jeremy, and Sebi, and they are all completely different characters. Sebi is gay, and he's really out. It's not a coming out story. He is gay. Jeremy is a shy nerd, and Myra is this crazy lunatic. And Myra and Sebi are already great friends, and they seem to be so upbeat and so happy all the time, but that's because they do have a lot of secrets, which Jeremy, who comes into the story, finds out, and it is really touching and really heartbreaking at some points, but it's so interesting to read about because there are so many different themes explored here, like LGBT, like I said. Family again is also prominent here, and love a little bit, but again it's not heavily focused on love. It's not as much as I thought it was going to be when I originally dived into it, but it was still amazing, and it did teach me a few life lessons about like just living and being you, which is what these three characters are trying to do, just trying to live a teenage life, which is essentially what they're trying to do. But yeah, I still highly recommend this one. I think this one was a really, really great read. I gave this such a high rating. I did give this 5 out of 5 stars, and I think that everyone should go read it. Just go read this book now. I'm gonna go with, because I've got quite a few contemporaries on this list, I've just realised, but I wanted to go with a sci-fi book, and I haven't actually read many sci-fi books. I think I should branch out into that genre a little bit more, but the sci-fi book that I recommend the most is actually a really, really popular one already, and you'll probably be able to guess that that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I read this book a year ago, I think, and yeah, of course I still remember it. It was so good. This is probably my favourite one in the series so far, but that's because I've only read Cinder and Scarlet. I do have Crosson Winter here with me, which I need to read really, really soon. I'm getting there in the pile. I'm getting there. What do you call it? What's the word? A retelling of Cinderella, and in this book, Cinderella is a cyborg, and she has this this little android helper called Eco, who is probably one of my favourite characters in this book. And she meets Prince Kai. And the way that it's done is not like a cheesy naff retelling that completely focuses on the story. Everything is so different, and like you get grabbed from the first page because Marissa Meyer's writing is so intriguing and she's so descriptive, and again it's really fast paced. This is the shortest in the series. They do get bigger. Let me show you. So essentially this is the series. This is a huge mammoth series that is, yeah, the Lunar Chronicles. So you have Cinder, which is the one I'm recommending right now. Scarlet, which is about Little Red Riding Hood, also really, really good. Cress, about Rapunzel. I got halfway through and got into a huge reading slump, so I wanted to put it down so I wouldn't ruin it, but I intend to pick it up again really, really soon and continue. And then Winter, which is about Snow White. This is such a hefty book. I think it's about 800 pages long, and it's gonna be a huge challenge, but I'm so ready. I'm so ready to get back into this series and completely love it again because I remember loving it so much. But yes, oh, it's upside down. But yes, I do highly recommend anybody starting this series to do it. Just do it because you will honestly not regret it. And yeah, if you are reading this or if you have read it, please let me know down below because I'd love to discuss it with you. Obviously just the first 2 books because I haven't read the last 2, but I will do that super soon. So please encourage me to continue down in the comments down below. Another book on my list that I recommend is also an ARC sent to me by Macmillan, and there's a huge story behind this. I went to My Kind of Book Christmas. I was invited there, and the author of this book was there, and I did get to meet her and we discussed it, and it added a completely different dimension of it, and that is Beautiful Broken Things by Sarah Bernard. This was just so good. It was recommended it was recommended for fans of We Were Liars and yeah, All the Bright Places, so those books were the ones that this book relates to. So this is part of the Zoella Book Club, which is probably why this book has become so famous, but honestly, if it wasn't famous, I would still recommend it to you because I think that this is one of the best books about a difficult issue that I've read. And it's really, really emotional. I did cry again. I remember sitting on the floor, literally where I'm stood, and I was reading the end of this book, and I literally flung it across the room and cried my eyes out and rolled onto the floor because I was so saddened by the ending of this book. And it's not a typical sad ending, but maybe it's just because it was ending, and the writing in this is spectacular. I might even reread it and buy myself a finished copy, because this is an arc. I will buy myself a finished copy and read it because it's just that good. So I highly recommend anybody who hasn't read it to go and read it. I will not tell you too much about the synopsis, because I think diving into it without knowing what it's about is the best way to do it. It's the best way to do it. But just let you know, it is about... There is a trigger warning for depression and suicide and all those dark themes in here, but I still think that the way they are dealt with is really, really beautiful, and yeah, the way that Sarah Bernard writes is fantastic. So I highly recommend anybody who hasn't read it to go and pick it up. And my last book is, again, not a surprise. As you all know, I'm currently working my way through Harry Potter. I have less than 100 pages left, which probably means I'm going to finish it tonight if I don't fall asleep like I have been. A-levels are killing me, so I've been getting so tired and I fall asleep while reading. It's a nightmare. But I have nothing to do tonight, so I'm going to be reading that and hopefully finishing it. So in keeping with the theme, I am going to be recommending the illustrated edition of the first Harry Potter book, and I think next month, October, the second Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets illustrated is coming out, and I literally cannot wait for it to come out. I love reading this. I actually read this one because I've decided to reread all the Harry Potters in this edition. Hopefully I'll read all the Harry Potters by the time the last one actually comes out. But I'm hoping to reread them all in this beautiful edition, because it does completely change your perspective. It's really beautiful seeing it. Wait, let me find you a beautiful picture. This is Hagrid's hut, and you can see that it's so gorgeous, but not as it was in the film, which I thought was really great, to not just go off what the film's saying. I just can't put into words how much it changes your perception and what a completely different experience is. It's like I'm reading it for the first time, which you don't get with Harry Potter. So if you guys want to feel like you're rereading Harry Potter for the first time, I highly recommend buying yourself a copy of this, because it's just worth having as a collector's item, even if you're never going to read it, because I will be buying the second one really, really soon, pre-ordering it, or I'll just get it for Christmas or something like that. But I'm excited to add this to my to add the next one to my collection and start reading that, because they're all fantastic. So yes, all you Harry Potter fans need to go and get this. My camera is running out of space, but very quickly, there you guys have it. These are, it looks like a lot more now, but these are all of the books that I am recommending today. Please let me know down in the comments below any books that you recommend, or if you've read any of these books, or if you're going to read any of these books. All my social media links will be down below. And yeah, please do post a comment saying hi. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And yeah, I will see you guys super soon with another video. Bye!